All right, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, well, we're talking about how prepared we actually are if something were to go wrong. But before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're really talking about how prepared we actually are if something was to happen while we're out on our bikes. What do you actually have prepped for, the potential accident, the crash that you're going to have? It happens a lot. It happens a lot. And it's something I've thought more and more about, especially coming to more recently, just because of the things, things I just get into. A lot of what I'd like to do is doing gravel rides, middle of nowhere, where it's just me. I'm the only one out on the ride. And well, how can I make it back to my truck? How can I make it back to my vehicle? If I'm at a dirt jump park, something happens, how do I make it back home? Well, what am I going to do? And some of that even comes from us sponsoring kids races this year, running kids events at the Lost and Found Gravel Festival and Mountains to Meadows Enduro Fest. Some of that comes from there too, is how prepared am I to actually solve an issue, solve a crash, help someone get better? Essentially is kind of where that comes from. Now, I am in no way qualified as a nurse or any medical professional, not even close. The most I've had is a CPR first aid certification, and I'm an Eagle Scout, so I know basic first aid. So that's about as basic, that's about as advanced as I personally get. So looking at what I have right now, carrying with me on my bike, I should probably carry more. Honestly, I should probably carry something else. If I carry something, it's a basic first aid kit that comes with essentially some Band-Aids and maybe like an alcohol swab. That's about it. Small as it could be. And I mean, it's better than nothing, but there's a lot better you could do. It's kind of the way I'll put it. Now, in my vehicles, I tend to carry something a little bit more substantial. In my truck, this has probably the best first aid kit I have because this goes on the most adventures. So this has it has an off-the-shelf first aid kit that you could buy. I think we got at Walgreens. It's kind of a decent little kit. Probably about yay big there. Has a lot of stuff in there for kind of dealing with normal injuries. Kind of what you would say with that. Has some wraps in there, has some gauze, has Band-Aids, of course, has alcohol swabs, has a pair of gloves. Kind of basic stuff along those lines that, if something standard was to happen to you, it kind of has everything in there. Now, my other vehicles I have pretty simple little, kind of little rectangle ones that are yay size, that you can buy at like Walmart. Those have those in there, which again, just have basic stuff. Band-Aids, alcohol swab, maybe a wrap in there. That's about it. And in certain circumstances, those are okay to have. However, the more you get into riding, the less effective those kits are going to be. And I've talked to multiple companies over the years and kind of just like, what exactly, talking to them what's in their kits. What do they have? What do they recommend, for someone kind of like me? I'm not necessarily needing a full tour kit, where I'm taking multiple people out on bike tours, but I need a little bit more than just kind of your standard one-person kit for you and your buddies. I need something kind of in the middle. So I've talked to a lot of companies out there. Essentially, when these guys here at V-Light Pro reached out to me to send me out their trauma kit, I looked at what was included in there and said, that's kind of along the lines of what I'm looking for, a little bit more, but this has a lot of the stuff I am looking for. So today we're going to go through this kit, show you kind of what all is in here, show you realistically what you should be looking for when it comes to a first aid kit and what would be effective for you. So this kit is put together really well. I'll tell you right now, before I even open this guy, there is stuff in here that's above my current knowledge of what I would even be able to use. And that's kind of, I feel like that's one of the downfalls with a first aid kit, especially as you get to more important stuff is, some stuff just normal people that aren't medically trained, we don't know what it is, how to use it, right? And going through this kit, I realized I should probably learn what some of the stuff is or relearn it, because I probably have learned it sometime in my past 30 some odd years. I probably learned what it is and how to use it. I just don't remember because you don't use it or don't practice. Why would you? It's not something you remember, right? I'm getting old. Can't remember everything. So this guy pops right open just like that. Has a bunch of stuff. And honestly, I'm surprised at how much is in here. That's That's my first thing. I opened this thing up and I was like, wow, I am surprised. I am impressed by how well they package stuff in here. So, you have all sorts of stuff in here, man. You have different tapes in here. You have safety pins. You have a tongue depressor. You have a splint built in. You have a splint in here. You have a tourniquet. You have... Oh, that's a CPR. That's a little mask for you doing CPR. That's kind of cool. Okay. Got that in here. It's got stuff all back here, too. Man, what is all back here? Abdominal pads. Gauze bandages. Here's kind of your basic stuff. These look like they're all antibacteria pads, or trying to think what the name of it would be. Disinfecting things. Oh, prep and disinfect. Oh, they're all labeled. Prep and disinfectants are all in here. You got that, abdominal pads. You got a pair of scissors in here. Oh, those are, oh, yep, you got a pair of medical scissors. You got a pair of tweezers. Oh, this has all sorts of stuff in here. You have wound care. Okay, so this is kind of your, your bandages right here. Good Pack has kind of whatever. It has big stuff, it has skinnier stuff, it has finger stuff, it has kind of all sorts of stuff in there. Okay. So that's all kind of on one side. Wow, that actually comes with a lot more than I thought it would. Now on this side, we got kind of our gauze wrappings, it looks like. We have a, whew, what is this, dude? A trauma wound dressing right here. Emergency trauma bandage. Right in there, we have a Sharpie. We have a triangular bandage in there. Let's see what else got. We got more dressings in here. Sterile dressings, eye patches, eye pads. A non-vented chest seal. Wow. Oh, here's what we need right here. And a thermal blanket. Wow, geez, this thing keeps going. All right. So here's Hick to have a whole manual, which I am curious what's all in here. Okay, so it tells you how to prep and disinfect, how to take care of the wound care, tool protection, bleeding control, what to do for a bone fracture, what to do for a burn, topical relief, and then survival gear. Wow. Yeah, your first aid plan in here. Let's see, compression depth, CPR rate. This is cool. Oh, this has everything in here. That's actually really neat that it comes with this. I wouldn't have known. I would have had to dig for a second to find that. But that's kind of just back here. I'm going to put that back in here. Wow. So yeah, this thing comes with all sorts of stuff in here. I haven't even gone into this thing. Yeah, safety pins. Oh, it's got gloves. There's your disposable gloves right there. Like I said, I'm not sure what some of this is. Lubricating jelly. Oh, medical adhesive. Wow. Okay. Like I said, there's so much in here that I wish I knew what everything was. So, comes with everything. I'm honestly going to pull this up, and I just want to read through what this kit has in here. So it has a full list of what's in here. So I'm just going to name it. Does this even have everything? Yeah, this has everything that's inside here. So it has stuff for prep and disinfect. It has clean pad, cleansing wet wipes, antiseptic wet wipes, and then first aid wipes. Wound care, it has just regular adhesive bandages, butterfly fingertip adhesive bandages, knuckle adhesive bandages, junior adhesive bandages, adhesive wound dressing, sterile gauze pad, burn dressing, conforming elastic bandage, triangular bandage, crepe bandage, and an ABD pad. I don't know what ABD is. Tool protection, it comes with medical tape, disposable gloves, first response face shield. That's what that thing is. That's a face shield. EMT scissors, metal tweezers, safety pins, a marking pen, sterile iPad, metal eye mask. Oh, that's the eye mask. Okay, metal eye mask, nasal airway, tongue depressor, instruction manual, and the thermal blanket. And then bleeding control and bone fracture. It's got a tourniquet, the 6-inch emergency trauma bandage, a compressed gauze Z-folded, non-vented chest seal, and a 36-inch folding splint. I mean, realistically, if I look at my needs of what I kind of need in a first aid kit, this has it all. And honestly, most of this stuff, I kind of know what it is. You know, I thought there would be a lot more I don't know, but honestly, I know most of what's in this kit, which is kind of cool. It's really not, it's nothing outside the reach of a normal person. I feel like I could get away with most stuff in here. I mean, obviously, there's some stuff that, yeah, I would probably not feel comfortable using. However, there's people out there that would be more comfortable than me, and I could use it in a very, very emergency situation. I could. But it kind of includes everything you need. And again, it's all in this nice package, all in this nice bag here. How prepared is too prepared for something to happen? That's kind of the tricky part. How prepared is too prepared? And, you know, that's kind of where the tricky part comes in, is, you know, when is too prepared, and I don't know if there is a too prepared kind of part when it comes to first aid stuff. And yeah, that's kind of hard to beat. This kit includes everything you would need. Honestly, from my non-medical background, and like I said, I've certified first aid CPR, and then, you know, I'm an Eagle Scout, so obviously I took first aid and learned some backcountry stuff. This kind of includes everything I would need. You know, and it includes more than just the very, very minimum basics that, like I said, the current first aid kits, like in my truck or in my cars, have. You know, the stuff that you've used before and I've had to put like 5 bandages to cover something up, I could do with, you know, one thing in this by just having this kit. And, you know, it saves you a lot of work, saves you a lot of worry, I feel like, having this kit. And that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted and felt like I needed kind of an all-inclusive first aid kit. Was just peace of mind, really, is what it is. I get into things, my daughter gets into things, we're both on bikes. Bikes can be dangerous. That's kind of the end of the story. Bikes can be dangerous. Better to be protected and have what you need to get it done with. So for this whole kit that I have right here, including the nice bag and everything that comes with, this thing here, normal price is $65.99 on Amazon. And realistically, looking at kind of what I was kind of looking for, the stuff I wanted in the kit, this kind of covers it all. It has everything here. So I mean, it has straps back here to mount it onto something. It has hooks, you could hook it onto a bag or a back of a seat. It has the straps here, so you can kind of strap it around something like a roll cage or something along those lines. If you have something like that, it's got a MOLLE panel on this side to mount more stuff, and of course, it's got Velcro for patches. If you know, you're a patch guy, you like to mount patches on your stuff, you got patches on there. And yeah, for me, it really fits the bill. This is going to come with us pretty much on all our cycling adventures. Now, this pack has everything I need. You know, this doesn't leave me at the point of, I don't know if I have something that can fix me up when I get back to my truck or wherever we are. It kind of clears my worries. I'm going to have something to help me either get feeling a little better, cause it to stop bleeding, or to get me to a hospital. This is going to have that kit in there. So if you guys are interested in checking out the V-Lite Pro kit, there's going to be a link in the description down below. They have a few different options for sizes. This is the kit I decided to go with because it has everything I need. I feel like it has everything I need. I know how to use most of it, like I said. So if you're looking for a good first aid kit, check them out. Link in the description down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, or maybe you learned something new today, maybe you decided that, yeah, today's the day you're going to take safety a little more seriously, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.